Hi, this is author-philosopher Ronald E. Springer of EthicsUnderground.com, here to continue the reading of Moral Armor, Chapter 8, Part 3, A Fool's Paradise, The Birth of Altruism. Please hit like and subscribe before we dive in. Men are not born spirit murderers. It is an identity that fear-dominated minds assume upon acquiring some sense of metaphysical potency in the successful disregard of existence. Grasping blindly for a substitute driver of his intellect, fear-driven man turns his focus to the task of securing a stranglehold on those who did not appear to default. He finds his home in a substructure that was prepared by other cowards over time, a societal structure requiring no mental effort, only obedience. In exchange for his servility, he gets protection from reality, which keeps him safely anonymous among the pack, hidden from the necessity of independence. As all standards have been declared social by those he submits to, existence becomes whatever people want it to be. Threatening emotional intensity, typically in tantrum form, defines existence, and reality therefore varies from person to person. Assuming the pattern of his masters, he decides this should work for him as well. Disconnected from self-support and its required discipline of focus, the sole purpose and activity of his mind becomes his limitless imagination. As the better men abandon such quests for unreason early, those who remain encourage it. He clings to them, and through malice, stupidity, or in payment for submission, they pretend whatever he needs pretended, granting a pretense of whatever spiritual values he is too stunted to earn, fostering his distance from reality. To his relief, he is satisfied that the natural world need not be obeyed or even considered, as he can attain his desires through these others, handed to him without causation. This unjust comforting allows him to disavow the world he fears, and disassociated, he looks at the world without dread for the first time. He need not examine it or anything else too closely. He can have whatever he remains cognizant enough of to wish for. This is easy, he says, as easy as his fear needs it to be. There is no addressing any value's source or creation, no need to consider existence and consciousness, as men, not thought and effort, are his means of sustenance and esteem. Lost in illusion, he is free to dream up a world that need not obey even the natural elements of ours. As all causal factors have been breached in his experience, paradise begins with the end products of cognition, ready to be consumed. In his world, everything is free. Treats fall into his hands from the sky. The atmosphere is set for his pleasure. His subjects bow to him, and endless luxuries exist for his delight. He can claim that by nature, nothing is to be expected of him, that thought and its benefits should be automatic, that life should be provided to all as a minimum and require no effort. His guardians applaud his description of their heaven, and all effort toward these values in real life stops. He receives love and acceptance without relation to his actions, and the traits he sees in others that cannot be had without effort, strength, ability, bravery, his guardians assure him are unimportant and without consequence, the products of luck. With all values being automatic, all of his guilt can be shed or reversed. He can now conclude that those engaging in effort are the ones lost in folly, and he can safely look down on them. There is only one problem with this world: it isn't real. Ultimately, none of it works. It seems to at home, but in the real world, the active, courageous boy wins the race, saves the day, and gets the girl. The real world doesn't acknowledge his illusions. Here, there is no pride without achievement, there is no love without personal value, and there is no life without effort. The girl he has a crush on doesn't know he exists. She has a crush on the boy whom his guardian's every statement has been designed to condemn. Why would she want him? He asks. Lied to and weakened by those closest, including himself, he isn't prepared to compete on wholesome grounds, and the breach between him and life has grown wider as a result. He ends up thankful that the girl doesn't like him, intimidated by what her expectations would reveal. From the beginning, his successful escape from responsibility achieved no esteem at all, but left a void where esteem should have been. Regardless of his graceless guardian's pretensions, he couldn't escape after all. As he grows past adolescence, he continues to refuse acknowledgement of how the world works. No matter what his inner world redefines truth as, authentic standards prevail in every endeavor. The smartest go the farthest, the best-looking turn, the most heads and the most confident and capable draw the most respect. Dulled by evasion, grimaced in anger, and stifled by fear, his spiral has begun, where no happiness, no pride, and no feeling that life is worth living can be conjured, only random bits of momentary safety. He knows he isn't really living, that he's putting it off to avoid an unknown danger. He can even acknowledge that those who help maintain his front are fakes, but he returns to them for the consolation the outer world withholds, solace for an irrational contempt. That's all for now. Next up is how to make a monster. I split these videos up by subject so you'd have a better chance of finding moral armor, and then perhaps go through the whole thing for free. Why? To help create a leader in every life. Sound civilization stair-steps up from sound coherence to sound individual to productive groups of mature individuals. Self-hatred drives fear-driven people in our world to wipe out the individual, so we all need moral armor to protect ourselves and the future of mankind. Click subscribe and leave a thumbs up if you'd like to help wipe out moral confusion fast and make the world a better place.